Izzo il padre, Izzo la madre, Izzo la figlia della sorella, era Izzo pure, quella era Izzo pure.
I told you.
Izzo de padre, Izzo de madre, Izzo...
I told you it'd be a good one.
Izzo la...
I was like, you can't explain him. You just have to experience him. See,
Okay, guys.
We're rolling.
Do you say I am crazy? Yes.
Yes,
No, he's very normal. We're both very normal for making...
Okay, silenzio.
I would like to start talking about Cannibal Holocaust, but talking with Eli, when and why you fall in love with Cannibal Holocaust, before arriving to do Green Inferno, of course.
I first had the idea to write and direct Cannibal Holocaust in 1977 when I was 4 years old. And it's amazing how much credit has gone to Ruggero Deodato over the years, but really, I know he likes it, so I let him have the attention. And here we are today. No, I saw Cannibal Holocaust. There was a series of videotapes that were so large you couldn't even fit them in your car. And there was a huge box with Cannibal Holocaust, and it was in the cannibal section. I remember there were a few other movies we will not name on this Blu-ray. But it was it's one of those experiences I had. I was a teenager when I saw it, and I couldn't believe what I had just seen, and it was before the internet, so I couldn't just go up and look up information. And I tried to find it in every book, and I really thought whoever made this movie actually killed people. And I studied special effects, I'd seen every makeup effect, but I had never seen anything so effective. The filmmaking, the documentary style, and of course the Riz Ortolani music, and that was what began my obsession with the movie, and of course reading about Ruggero and subsequently realizing that he had directed other movies that I loved as well. But it seemed like he really murdered people.
So it's true that you really murder people. How does it work? Come ha funzionato all'epoca? Nel senso, era nella vostra intenzione, it was in your intention to make believe people, to far credere alle persone che effettivamente si trattava di un documentario, di una cosa vera?
Assolutamente sì, è stata la propaganda che abbiamo fatto immediatamente. Quando ho intercettato questi attori all'Acto Studio, la prima cosa che ho detto è: voi morirete per un anno, state morti, proprio non esistete proprio. In ogni modo la cosa, il film infatti ha funzionato malgrado non esistesse ancora internet, invece ha funzionato benissimo. Adesso la cosa invece che mi incuriosisce, se lui ha superato il maestro. Io non ho superato Hostel con i miei film, perché Hostel mi è piaciuto moltissimo, però adesso lui è andato in un campo minato che è molto difficile cercare di superare Cannibal Holocaust. Se ci è riuscito, domani glielo dirò, domani stesso.
Tomorrow you're gonna know.
Well, it's interesting because now with the Green Inferno, every review ever by anyone, the first thing they talk about is Cannibal Holocaust, Cannibal Holocaust. And the Hollywood Reporter, they said, well, it's not as great as the masterpiece Cannibal Holocaust. Like, it's incredible that I'm sure maybe papers that were not so nice to you originally, now Cannibal Holocaust is like, like here's Casablanca, here's Cannibal Holocaust. Like, it has become over time the gold standard for, like, it's like the ultimate outlaw horror movie. There is no close second.
La cosa buona che è stata creata con Green Inferno, che io ho avuto per un anno, io non sapevo notizia che lui stesse facendo il film di Green Inferno, però mi arrivavano da tutte le parti del mondo, tutti quanti dicevano: quel pezzo di merda di Eli fa un film tipo Cannibal Holocaust e non ti ha detto niente. Dico: no, non lo so. Tu lo odi? No, io non lo odio. Ma era un tuo amico? Sì, era un mio amico, ma che c'entra? Non è che odio lui, perché tutto il mondo non me l'ha fatto. Io penso che il film sarà un successo enorme, perché hai capito quello che...
Sì, ho capito tutto. I mean, we didn't...
But did you notice about the fact that people told him that you were copying him?
Oh yeah, of course. It was a bad situation because we weren't sure if the financing was going to work. And to really start the movie, I was paying myself and my own money to fly the crew to go to Peru. And while we were there, like right before shooting was when the financing came together. But I had to say, yes, we're going, yes, we're going. We were fighting the weather. And then we were in the jungle and I started production. And every day I was thinking, today I really need to write Ruggero. We're in the Amazon and I thought, okay, I'll tell him right when I get back in December. But by then the news had gotten out and I felt terribly that you didn't hear it from me first. Because obviously the Cannibal Holocaust is the inspiration and it's a very different type of story. Yeah. And the name The Green Inferno. But the idea was I want people...
The Inferno is the name in
the first one, of course.
The last Cannibal World.
In Cannibal Holocaust too.
Also, yes.
That's kind of Ultimo Mondo Cannibale has the finger thing. That you'll see tomorrow night, amongst other things. But I and then of course, lost my train of thought here. But I wanted to make something that was really for a modern American audiences, because it couldn't be as strong as Cannibal Holocaust. It's a different story, but I want, you notice in the credits, I list the inspirations and I list Last Cannibal World and Cannibal Holocaust. I want people that maybe have never seen it, that are too scared to see it, to watch Green Inferno and then go find Cannibal Holocaust if they haven't seen it.
Adesso, verità per verità, l'unica cosa che mi ha fatto arrabbiare delle sue interviste su questo film è che lui non aveva imitato Cannibal Holocaust, non era la sua ispirazione né Cannibal Holocaust né dell'ultimo mondo cannibale, ma era il film di Herzog. E lì mi sono un po' incazzato perché ha detto, vedi, lui vuole fare la serie A e si vergogna della serie B.
No.
Questo
But I would
mi
tell
ha fatto
him,
incazzare come un...
when you're filming a movie and you're scouting it,
Because I
you
hate
have many.
Herzog in this movie, Fitzcarraldo.
Fitzcarraldo.
You sleep from 5 hours.
I know you were sleeping during
I
Fitzcarraldo.
hope this is not your movie.
No, it's not my movie.
Okay.
I like Fitzcarraldo. I like the scenes with the natives. When the natives come on the boat, I think is great.
You like only the boat because for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 40 minutes is the boat.
Yes,
Rio de
there's a lot of boats.
Oh,
I like Amazons and I like boats. But Aguirre, the Wrath of God. When we went to scout, they said this is called the Pongo Aguirre. This is where Herzog shot. And you look at the photography, it looks like Herzog. And Aguirre, the Wrath of God, I like. I like it more than Fitzcarraldo. I like Fitzcarraldo, though. I don't hate Fitzcarraldo.
I don't like it.
You hate boats.
I sleep in old movie. But the location is nice, very nice, and the boat is very nice.
So when you're in Peru in the Amazon,
Sì. No, he shot in Manaus, in Brazil, Fitzcarraldo.
Fitzcarraldo was Iquitos also,
Sì, yes, Iquitos.
and Brazil.
Brazil.
But the one where we shot is by Aguirre, the Wrath of God,
Yeah.
because they call it the Pongo Aguirre, and we went farther.
No, è un film molto intellettuale quello di Herzog, allora io mi sono sentito tradito. Adesso domani voglio vedere se sono tradito o no.
So in the end we can say that the real good father of the cannibal is
Werner Herzog. He's the father of the cannibal
Tu l'hai
movies.
visto il film?
But when you
C'è Herzog
made
o c'è
Cannibal
Cannibal?
Holocaust,
Lindsay, c'è Lindsay.
C'è Lenzi.
Lenzi, Maestro Lenzi, I love Cannibal Ferox. But I will say this.
No,
I would say
Lenzi,
this.
confess me, you are the really father of the cannibal.
Really? When?
He said, in Nettuno.
Really?
This year, yes.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
Because the
Man from Deep
Ferox
River.
2 is l'uomo chiamato cavallo.
Yes.
Com'era? Come si chiama il titolo?
Man called the horse.
With Eric Harris.
The man from the deep river.
Man from Deep
This
River.
is the movie,
Inspiration
no.
coming from.
No, Cannibal, no, della Cannibal.
There's one scene in cannibalism in Man from Deep River.
Yes.
Sì, ha messo una scena che l'ha presa da me.
No.
No.
He did.
But the difference, but also,
Beh, in modo...
for my untrained eye, the difference, obviously, I think that what makes Cannibal Holocaust unique, that a lot of people don't know, is that everybody knows you were the assistant director to Roberto Rossellini. But not many people know that you are the assistant director to Sergio Corbucci.
Yes.
So you take the realism of Rossellini
Yeah.
and the violence and political
Yes.
subtext of Corbucci,
E the
and you
eleganza from
combine
Bolognini.
and you combine the two in Cannibal Holocaust.
Yes,
and I
of course.
think that people say it's the impalement, it's
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
but it's not. There's a reason that all these years later, it's still probably the strongest horror film ever made.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's you, are your influences, are Corbucci and Rossellini. Lenzi is writing crime novels and detective stories now, and his crime films are incredible. I mean, you made great crime films as well, but when we think of Lenzi, I think of the Italian crime. And if you look at Cannibal Ferox, they're sort of detective movies. He can't help it. He loves the detective story. And in Cannibal Ferox, they're finding a detective. It's they keep cutting back to New York. You're going, we're in the Amazon. Why are we going back to these police? But Lenzi loves the detective stories. So I think that instead of comparing the two movies against each other, you should look at the two directors and the roots of what their inspirations are and look at them as, sort of separate types of movies.